Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We have to begin here at 5 with the weather. All eyes on ExactTrack 4D radar with the threat of storms. Look at that. Just a few hours to the west. Things are going to change once this round of weather, though, moves out.
Yeah, so let's get right over to Kim Adams off the top here at 5. Kim, I see you with 2 clickers, but we're not talking about anything severe, right?
No, but we could get some strong wind gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. So there could be a few downed trees if you have patio furniture out, maybe some small mums, things like that. I'd bring them in the garage or at least push them up against the house. Right now on ExactTrack 4D radar, we're not seeing a whole lot around here. There's just a couple of sprinkles that just developed. Let's zoom in a bit tighter for you here so you can take a good look at it. Chelsea getting a few sprinkles right now, but the majority of the weather right now is still focused back out to the west. So we're going to look over at Lansing, starting to get some rain here. Grand Rapids had a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust. Kalamazoo had a 48-mile-per-hour gust. So we're really concerned more about some temporary high winds. We're still on the warm side of this frontal boundary with temperatures right now in the upper 60s to low 70s. Here's a look at the wind gusts already. 30-mile-per-hour gusts in Ann Arbor and at Metro, also at City Airport, 29-mile-per-hour gusts in Pontiac. So here's how it breaks down for this evening. We'll have a chance of showers and storms coming into play after 7 o'clock and continuing until about midnight tonight. The full forecast, including a peek at your weekend forecast, coming up.
All right, Kim, now to breaking news. Detroit police said the search for Zion Foster is over. Investigators have been searching the Lenox Township landfill since May.
Police believed her body was buried there after her cousin admitted to putting her in a Detroit dumpster. He says the 17-year-old from East Point became unresponsive when they were together last winter. We did talk with Zion's mother a short time ago, and she tells us investigators did not find Zion's body. Detroit police say they will talk more about the search sometime next week. Our other top story here at 5, the victim says she'll have to live with the emotional and physical scars for the rest of her life.
Today, Allison Weaver was sentenced to 10 to 15 years for trying to eat her friend's face while she was passed out. Pamela Osborne, following today's sentencing. This is it's just such a horrifying case, Pam.
Horrific isn't even the word to describe it. That's what the judge said after hearing from that victim, how that night has drastically changed her entire life. Now, I do want you to know we did take some extra steps to conceal her identity, but you are going to hear from her, and what she has to say is incredibly, incredibly difficult to hear.
I have some memories of the attack that night, like bits and pieces of a horror movie. First, of waking up in my own bed to find her in some animal-like crawling position, naked, ready to pounce on me.
The victim, whose identity we're concealing, believes she would not be alive today had it not been for a neighbor who heard the attack that night in September of 2019 and called 911. When deputies entered through an unlocked door, they found the victim and 47-year-old Allison Thompson Weaver both nude on a bedroom floor covered in blood.
I knew in my head what was happening to me, and I couldn't do a thing about it. And then she whispered the words, "You have to die."
The victim recounted being raped, strangled, and bitten all over her body.
She bit off my ear and literally consumed parts of me.
She told the court how she begged for her life. Weaver, she says, laughed, whispered, "It's too late," then continued the attack.
Man suffers unto man. We've all heard that before, but this is an abomination.
Weaver, a former neighbor and friend of the victim, was under the influence of drugs and alcohol that night.
I would like to apologize to the victim and to her family, and also to my family as well. I do feel really, really horrible about what happened. I wish I could take it away.
I do remember seeing pure evil in her eyes, though, and I truly believe nothing can save her.
And the judge asked Weaver why she did it. She said that she had no idea. She's going to spend the next 10 to 15 years in prison. She's also going to have to register as a sex offender. The victim in this case felt that that time simply wasn't enough, but the judge explained this was an agreed upon term and that it was more than what the charges themselves warranted. Reporting live tonight, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
It just defies understanding. All right, Pam. A homeowner opens fire on a man who broke into his house.
Yeah, this home invader was shot and killed around 9:30 this morning inside the home on Lorraine Street, right in the area of Linwood and I-94. Megan Woods is live on this story for us tonight. Megan, what are police telling you about this so far?
Well, Kimberly, Devin, earlier at noon, we had talked about how police had detained and questioned 2 adults who were home at the time. And now police are saying one of them, a woman, has been released, but they're still questioning the man who was inside of the home when this all happened. And it's all still under investigation.
It's terrifying.
Michelle Bradley lives on Lorraine, just a few doors down from where police say a 35-year-old man was shot and killed after trying to break in someone's home through a window. It comes as a surprise to Michelle. She's lived here for 5 years and refers to her street as quiet and family-oriented.
We kind of look out for each other over here. But yeah, this is the first time we heard something like this happen over here. Yeah.
This morning, she saw the flashing lights outside of her home, and not only did it scare her, it took her back to a night in 2015 that she will never forget.
Getting off work, 11 o'clock, and a young man tried to rob me, and he shot me 3 times. We're hearing constantly, every day, someone's getting shot, the schools, and it just terrifies you. Sometimes you be afraid to come out.
But after hearing someone tried to break into her neighbor's home around 9 in the morning, home starts to feel less safe too.
A couple of doors down, it's kind of make you wonder, you know, you got to be kind of on the lookout now.
Police say they do have the weapon, and again, they have one person still detained and questioned. And what's next is whether there are charges to come or if this is deemed self-defense. Back to you.
And we'll certainly be watching it. Okay, Megan, thank you. A home inspector is found guilty of a crime involving inappropriate behavior with a child's stuffed animal.
Kevin Van Leuven of Clarkston was charged with indecent exposure and destruction of property. Investigators say you'll remember the story. He was caught on a nursery camera inappropriately touching himself with an Elmo doll from the house. Happened as he inspected a home in Oxford Township in March. Van Leuven set to be sentenced now in December.
Federal health officials have signed off on updated COVID booster shots for children as young as 5 years of age. The booster shots target the original coronavirus strain and the Omicron subvariants. The tweaked boosters rolled out for people 12 and older last month. Today's recommendation is for an updated shot from Pfizer for ages 5 to 11 and Moderna for children as young as 6. Both the FDA and CDC recommended the shots.
Short time ago, a jury in Connecticut ruled radio host Alex Jones should pay $965 million, almost $1 billion, to the families of the Sandy Hook school massacre.
Today's verdict is the second major judgment against Jones and his lie that the school massacre never happened and the families of the victims were paid actors. Jones now faces a third trial in Texas around the end of the year in a lawsuit filed by the parents of another child killed in that shooting.
Independent investigation into the Oxford High School shooting has reached a new phase. Meanwhile, for the next 3 days, a third-party firm is going to hold interviews with members of the public, and that comes after the district, of course, declined offers from the Michigan Attorney General's office. Let's bring in Sean Lay, who's been following this today. And Sean, this is basically open to anyone with a connection to the school, right?
Well, good evening to you, Devin. We're talking about students, teachers, family members, or anyone in the Oxford community who wants to speak with an investigator.
Anyone who has information, obviously firsthand information, would be critical. People who saw things or heard things themselves that go to the issue of how the school district handled the shooter before the shooting and how they handled the shooting and the aftermath. So we want firsthand information, but it's also important that we hear from people who've heard things.
That's the voice of Andy O'Connell, head of investigations for the firm Guidepost Solutions. This is the group hired by Oxford schools to investigate every aspect of the Oxford school shooting. After the schools rejected offers from the state attorney general's office for an independent investigation, Guidepost investigators are now interviewing anyone who wants to share what they know about what happened, red flags, and what went wrong.
Well, I think that when people read our report, they're going to know exactly what happens. I feel like we're moving in that direction based on the things we've seen and heard. I feel we're going to get a definitive account of what happened and who interacted with this kid and what steps they took when they interacted with him and what happened the day of the shooting, the day before the shooting, what happened after the shooting.
Also, a threat assessment will be done. How secure is the district today and how it will handle troubled students in the future.
There's going to be some healing that goes on, but also some learnings, really important learnings about how do you best minimize risks of school shooters.
Back here live today is day one of 3 days of these interviews, Devin.
So when's the investigation we expect is this going to be complete, Sean?
We asked that, and the firm says, the head of the investigations there says he hopes to have something to offer by the end of the year. He also says the criminal cases may delay a big chunk of the entire picture they want to present. That may be later next year.
All right, Sean. Well, he promised investors massive returns. Feds say it was all a lie.
New tonight, how the feds say a Metro Detroit man pulled off a $27 million Ponzi scheme.
Also, the breast cancer symptoms women are most likely to miss. Dr. Franklin George in to show us why women need to think beyond the lump. Rod.
A nationally known trucking company with an operation right here in Metro Detroit fell victim to an arsonist, burning vehicles all across the country and endangering lives. But the feds say they caught the guy right here in Metro Detroit. We'll have the full story.